Greetings, citizens of Super Earth. Strap in because it's time for your weekly news recap on our ongoing second Galactic War. But first, a word from our sponsor, Chechen, at Most Wanted Merch. Now, Helldivers, doesn't that look like a democratic formula? Check the description for a link to Chechen's and Rod, the voice actor, in that video of other merch that is all 100% super Amazon approved by the Ministry of Science. Now, next up, everybody, we have a special segment. We'll be talking about, first off, the Freedom Alliance and another Helldiver coalition known as the Chilean Helldivers. Let's jump in. So the first group, of course, is the Freedom Alliance. Freedom called their name and they answered. They are a coalition of players, clans, and creators based on the principles of liberty, integrity, and respect. They host community events and build lore and art around the ideas of the Alliance. And I invite you, Helldiver Super Earth citizen, to join them as they do monthly AOs, which are Alliance orders, or promote. They also promote the low sodium team and teamwork among all Helldivers. Now, next up, and of course we say hello to all of our Chilean Helldivers. We're a special segment. Helldivers 2 enlistment is on the rise, and in Chile, they have created the Helldivers 2 Chile Discord, as I mentioned earlier, and here players not only team up to battle in the universe, but also forge lasting bonds of camaraderie and support. It's a place where strategies are shared, games are organized, and most importantly, having fun together. So if you're a passionate Chilean or Spanish Helldiver and want to be part of something big, this is the place for you. Now to Officer Canco.
Thank you, Strider. So, para todos los hermanos chilenos, a continuación, el alistamiento de Helldivers 2 va en aumento y en Chile han creado Helldivers 2 Chile Discord. Aquí los jugadores no solo forman equipos para luchar en el universo, sino que también forjan vínculos de camaradería y apoyo. Es un lugar donde se comparten estrategias, se organizan juegos y lo más importante, se divierten juntos. Entonces, si eres un Helldiver chileno o español apasionado y quieres ser parte de algo grande, este es el lugar para ti. Back to you, Strider.
Thank you, Officer Canco, and welcome all of you renowned Chilean Helldivers. Now, with Liberty Day fast approaching, everybody, I want to mention a legendary and renowned artist back on Super Earth known as Val. She has used her talent to promote managed democracy and is currently in a competition among Super Earth artists to claim the banner of the official Helldivers Discord. Please go over in the link below in the description and also in the comments, we'll be adding here in just a moment, and add your vote to her wonderful art to be showcased to all super citizens on the banner of the official Helldivers 2 Discord. And now, Helldivers, before we dive into more updates, let's take a moment of silence to honor the brave Helldivers who have fallen in battle. Their names are etched into the halls of Super Earth forever, their bravery a shining example to all. To those citizens who've offered their loved ones for the fight, your sacrifice brings us closer to victory with every passing day. We remember, we honor, and we march together. Stronger, bolder, and always free. New reports have come from the front, and I want to update you all on that all has transpired in the ongoing Second Galactic War with Sarah Kelly, as Meridia AI is not able to join us currently. She's still being used at great quantities and in very important projects with the DSS. So enjoy this segment from Sarah Kelly. We'll be right back.
Freedom's greetings, citizens of Super Earth. I'm Sarah Kelly, bringing you the latest breaking story. The Democracy Space Station, or DSS, has just released its first official blueprint. Now let's break down the critical components of the DSS. It includes agnostic transmission systems, essential for syncing with all super destroyers, protective plating made from ultra-light materials for surviving faster-than-light travel, a cutting-edge FTL accelerator and stabilizer, a highly classified weapons bay, requiring personnel with perfect patriotism scores, and advanced targeting systems for liberty distribution. Known issues so far include structural concerns in Sector 77C, instability in the E710 drive, a lack of space for lavatories, budget shortfalls, and insufficient resources for crew bedding. Stay tuned for further. Turing is secure. Over 50,000 Helldivers successfully repelled multiple Terminate assaults to protect the future Xenoentomology Center. Their brilliant tactics kept the mindless bug Onslaught at bay. Meanwhile, construction of the Xenoentomology Center has begun, focusing on developing high-efficiency Alcubierre drives to power the Democracy Space Station. In other news, plans for the Deep Mantle Forge Complex are underway. This facility is crucial for producing a chromium-cobalt-nickel alloy for DSS warp speeds. The Helldivers are tasked with liberating Chlorel from automaton control, a vital move for the station's progress. You are needed on the front lines. In a decisive operation, Super Earth forces have liberated Chlorel from the grip of the Automaton Legion. The bot-controlled tunnels deep within the planet have been cleared, paving the way for the construction of the Deep Mantle Forge Complex. This facility will harness Chlorel's core heat to produce a revolutionary alloy essential for future FTL jumps. However, alarming intel reveals that the automatons were crafting a mysterious lightweight metal, potentially for advanced armor plating. Despite the victory, the automatons are retaliating with fierce resistance, and heavy attacks are anticipated. Securing Chlorel is now critical for the ongoing construction of the Democracy Space Station. You are needed on the front lines. May liberty speed your step and shield you from all...
Thank you, Sarah Kelly, for that update. And now to today's updates to destroyers. And oh, just one second. I am receiving a report currently that there are currently no updates, but the Ministry of Science is hard at work for you Helldivers. And be sure that that DSS and the new forge that is being set up for that new alloy on Chlorella is going to be greatly used to enhance each of your abilities. Now, I do want to bring a segment up from Officer Canco. He will be reading the update from October 8th today in Spanish.
Thank you, Strider. Les traigo una noticia de última hora. En una operación decisiva, las fuerzas de la Supertierra han liberado Chlorel de las garras de la Legión Autómata. Los túneles controlados por los robots en las profundidades del planeta han sido despejados, pavimentando el camino para la construcción del complejo de forja del manto profundo. Esta instalación aprovechará el calor del núcleo de Chlorel para producir una aleación revolucionaria esencial para futuros saltos superlumínicos. Sin embargo, información alarmante revela que los autómatas estaban fabricando un misterioso metal ligero, potencialmente para blindaje avanzado. A pesar de la victoria, los autómatas están tomando represalias con una feroz resistencia y se anticipan fuertes ataques. Asegurar Chlorel es crítico ahora para la construcción de la Estación Espacial Democrática. Se les necesita en el frente. Que la libertad acelere tus pasos y te proteja de todos los enemigos de la libertad. Back to you, Strider.
Thank you so much, Officer Canco. And now, what I like to do once in a while on these new segments is open up a section for each of you Helldivers joining us. Those from Chile, please, if you need to speak your native language, feel free. I have Officer Canco here to translate and to also translate back to you all, not just to me. And any of those of you who Rangers here and here, we're going to do a Q&A session. So any of you have questions, let's talk about all that is happening with Helldivers too. Yeah. So Officer Canco, thanks for the question, by the way. So we'll just talk about this. Let's talk about Liberty Day. Now, I've heard some links, but I'm trying to stay away from links on this news channel. We're trying to keep everything surprising, but I'm hoping there may be some armor drops. I'm hoping there may be a special mission we get to do together as Helldivers. I have some hopes of some things we may be able to actually do on Liberty Day, but we'll just have to see what all transpires. I'm really hoping. I'm planning on the new, not only on this news segment, but also to do on stream and actually stream a good bit of that day. I'm hoping to do like a 6 or 12 hour stream. Somewhere in there, we'll be shoving that in to be able to play with everybody. Here's a good one from Kyle Walker. Isn't the DSS the same space station on Mars, but it has weaponry and can do FTL jumps?
Have you been to Mars? There is a similar DSS on Mars, but from what I've heard or what I've seen or read, the DSS on Mars is a facility training for the Helldivers, or something like about the Helldivers recruitment facility.
I'm curious now.
Yeah, if you jump into Mars in the game, like you'll see like a structure similar to a DSS, but this DSS being built on Gaellivaare is like the first, I don't know how to call it, space or big space station that actually will help us on having more support or things like that on the Galactic War compared to what is on Mars right now. That is a training facility. I think that's the difference and what Cat Walker is mentioning.
Yeah, I just pulled also up from the Helldiver Companion, which recently got an update, mind you. Those of you who have not checked it out, go check it out now. It's actually got 3 buttons at the bottom, 1 button down here. Just going over this really quickly, it has a companion Hellpad system, or for short, CHS. So it looks like they're actually initiating some things in here. Of course, you can actually click the war bond section and actually go through each war bond outside of Helldivers too, and actually have interactions, how much each one is, the details about each one. Very, very cool update. Mind you, this team has done a phenomenal job, along with all types of information on each planet. And what a great question. Thank you again, Catwalker, for that question. Now, Wix also brought in a good question. Let me go to a less distracting background here. But do you think the DSS might be able to be boarded in the future? What a good question. I'm going to leave that up to Will. How about Officer Will? You can answer that one.
I hope so. Because, I don't know, maybe I'm just nostalgic of like OG Battlefront with like, you know, space station and like space battles. So like having like, you know, like the, you know, metallic, you know, pawls and, you know, the brutality of, you know, just fighting in the corridors. Like, you know, that would also sate a lot of people that want like an indoor biome or like an indoor mission, and all the people that want that could also cover that. So I would actually hope, you know, in a very democratic way, you know, we could repel the attackers.
Oh, of course,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'd actually would like to see it capable of being a point of combat, not just a hub and
agreed
decoration.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's what I was hoping. What do you think, Officer Canco?
Yeah, I think as always, and we always want more from Helldivers. We want 8 mechs on the mission, we want vehicles, we want 100 Helldivers on the Democratic Space Station, and it's always about the limitations of the engine that Arrowhead has built this game. So it's not... I think Arrowhead wants to give us as much as they can, and within the limits they have to run the game and actually be able to play it. So, and I'm not sure how feasible is that for them to do. We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, you know what the limitations of the engine are also. So you know, they're piling on a lot of stuff onto this older engine, and unless they decide to, you know, negotiate with the engineers of the software eventually left in the studio, and, you know, get people in to just like deep dive into the code. You know, they could also
make
it more capable. So
I think the problem,
and scope.
Yeah, I think the problem is that they're no longer engineers of the software of the engine they're using. It has been discontinued. So
yeah, it's been discontinued, and then the people that initially were
developing,
working on it, like the developers from Arrowhead, that were kind of like fine tuning it and like did the base code for the game to the software. Like, I guess moved on to a different studio or retired or however whatever happened. So that's kind of why they had like the whole issue with scrambling. I mean, it seemed kind of...
Oh, and development slowed down too. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, when they do the patches, it's like cascading, you know, that they can't differentiate, I suppose.
Gotcha. We're gonna do 2 more questions. Someone from Kaiser, which was a good one. Do you think they could build another DSS if the voting system doesn't work as they expect?
That's a good question.
Like a DSS on every front.
I have heard a lot of uproar in some Helldiver coalitions that if said voting system does, you know, happen like it's going to here soon, when it actually gets constructed and finished, which we still don't know the ETA. We don't know how long this DSS is going to take. We know it's going to take a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months to actually get completed. So like I myself as a newscaster, I was hearing and hoping that it would be done in maybe a month or 2. But again, Helldivers are really the depending factor on how fast these get completed, and if they do even get completed, because if some of these MOs don't get completed, which I don't think is going to happen, of course, we're going to be on track, and I'm hoping we can have it within a month or 2, and then we'll be able to see its actual abilities. But I have a slight suspicion as well on my Democracy Officer side that it will be something we interact only on our super destroyers. It won't be an actual social space like we were hoping for, because of engine limitations. So that's kind of my thought process right now.
Yeah, I think there's this DSS thing that's going to build now as one in a lifetime event for Helldivers. I don't think we're ever going to see another build unless, hope not, it gets destroyed or taken by any enemy faction. I think the problem that you mentioned and what Kaiser is asking is about the voting system and what worries certain Helldivers that are more active on like the social media like Reddit or Discord, because we always know there's a bit of discommunication inside the game.
Yes.
Certain soldiers or certain divers go to certain planets and not the ones of the major order. So people are worried that once the voting system comes up and doesn't actually help the Galactic War.
So you're okay. So it's pretty much the comparison of the blob comparative to the more
the blob concept. Yep.
Organized divers.
Well,
I guess that's just
this has organized the blob.
Democracy at its finest.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to let democracy work, and I would assume that all of the voting options will at least be a net positive, and it's just a matter of preference. I hope there's no... I don't think the blob would choose a negative option for voting. I mean, hopefully, you know, if the democracy works the way we want it to, we pick the most, you know, positive option, you know? But it's up to the voters, you know?
And I think
citizens.
I think Bushmaster mentioned this a little bit ago. I think they will issue new orders until the DSS comes out, since it has 3 phases. So yeah, I think that's true. MOs will follow with the construction. I agree and be upset by this, but Kaiser mentioned a question comment that I think is valid because it may happen. Kaiser said, I think Joel is going to add another supply line so Vernen Wells and Gaellivaare are connected, and then both Gaellivaare and Tarsh are in danger to getting attacked.
Yes, probably. Because Joel has done it before. I mean, just the connection of Tarsh to Vernen Wells was not there before, and he did that in a very inopportune time, like while we were like assaulted in other places, so it's kind of not cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not even saying that doesn't even upset me. I'm just indifferent to it because it's like I'm like kind of numb to it because I'm like, yeah, it probably will happen. Like it's not even a conspiracy.
It's close within proximity.
It's
yeah.
pattern recognition at this point.
Knowing what they're gonna do. Yeah. Kaiser, great comment, by the way. Those of you who joined us, Officer Canco, Officer Will, thank you. Those of you from the Discord, the Chilean Helldiver Discord, thank you for joining along with Freedom Alliance. And Rangers, I'll see you in a second. Thank you for watching the news video. If you want to see more, keep up to date, subscribe, like the video. We'll catch you later. Dive safe, stay vigilant, and stay steady. And you're awesome, Helldivers and Rangers. Catch you in the next news video. Thank you, Rangers and Helldivers, for choosing us to be your Super Earth update network. And we want you to join us Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. CST for drops wherever Super Earth requires. Our Discord link is below, and we would like to enlist you with our Rangers of Super Earth Special Forces. Dive safe and see you in the next news video.
You are the best of the best. Live up to